1. Broken doesn't mean beaten, it means being built. You think the pain came to crush you, but it came to construct you. Every tear you've cried was laying the foundation for the strength you never knew you had. God doesn't waste pain. He uses it as a tool. So when you're feeling broken, understand you're being built for something bigger. 2. Scars are signatures of survival, not symbols of shame. Don't hide your scars. Those scars are proof that the wound didn't win. You went through fire and you came out with evidence, a note of defeat, but of endurance. Your story, your pain, your healing, it's not your weakness, it's your witness. 3. The struggle is the setup for the stage. Everybody wants the spotlight, but nobody wants the storm. Understand this, your darkest nights are preparing you for the brightest platform. When the world sees the glory, they won't know the story unless you tell them what it cost you to stand where you stand. 4. Purpose is born in the fire, not in the comfort. Comfort zones don't make warriors, conflict does. When life presses you, don't panic, pay attention. That pressure is revealing your purpose. There's something inside you that can only be activated through adversity. That pain you're feeling, it's not punishment, it's preparation. 1. Broken doesn't mean beaten, it means being built. There is a moment in life when the weight feels unbearable, when circumstances seem to be working against you from every angle. It's the moment when you cry out and feel like no one's listening. When you give everything you've got and life keeps asking for more. It's in this sacred and silent place that many people think they've reached the end. They confuse the breaking for the burial. But what they don't realize is that this isn't a grave, it's a garden, and before anything grows, it first must be broken open. Before the harvest, there's always a season of hiddenness. Before the breakthrough, there's always the breaking. Pain has a strange way of introducing us to the parts of ourselves we never knew existed. The strong part, the resilient part, the relentless part. You don't meet that version of you when life is easy. You meet that version when the ground beneath your feet shakes, when everything comfortable is stripped away, and you're left with nothing but your will to keep moving forward. It's in those moments that you realize pain isn't there to destroy you, it's there to develop you. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. We live in a culture that glorifies perfection and hides process. People love to show the mountaintop but skip over the climb. They want to celebrate the success but skip the suffering that made it possible. The truth is, nobody arrives at greatness without going through some pain. Nobody builds strength in the comfort zone. Pain is the pressure that makes diamonds out of coal. Pain is the fire that forges steel out of softness. You don't become your best self by avoiding the struggle. You become your best self by embracing it. Being broken is not a signal of being beaten. Being broken is evidence that something in you is evolving. When a seed goes into the ground, it has to break open for anything to grow. The outer shell has to give way so that what's inside can emerge. If the seed doesn't break, the tree never grows. In the same way, life will crack you open. Life will allow pain to pierce your shell, not because you're being punished, but because there's something powerful inside of you that needs to come out, and it won't come out if everything stays easy. Growth demands discomfort. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every betrayal, they weren't random. They were revelation. They revealed who you are, what you believe, and what you're capable of. They showed you who was truly for you and who was only around for what you could give. Pain clarifies, pain filters, pain shapes. And though you didn't ask for it, pain was doing work that comfort never could. You see, when you hit rock bottom, there's a truth you learn that no classroom can teach. You find out what you're really made of. You discover the depth of your spirit. When your plan falls apart and all you have left is faith, you find out that faith is all you ever needed in the first place. And sometimes, it's the breaking of your plan that leads to the building of your purpose. Think about all the things you've survived. Things that tried to take your mind, your confidence, your courage, and yet you're still here, you're still standing. That means the breaking didn't beat you. It built you. Every time life knocked you down, you got back up stronger. Every time the storm came, you found a way to rise through the rain. You learned to navigate the dark. You discovered how to fight when no one was watching. That's not weakness. That's the mark of someone being built, not beaten. Pain has a way of stripping away distractions. When you're in pain, you start to prioritize what really matters. You stop chasing applause and start chasing authenticity. You stop wasting energy on people who don't value you and start investing it in the healing of your own soul. Pain will make you pause, reflect, and refine. It will humble you, yes, but it will also elevate you. Because when you come through the fire, you don't just survive, you shine. You can't have wisdom without wounds. You can't have depth without difficulty. The people who speak with the most conviction are the ones who have walked through the valley, not just stood on the mountaintop. The people who love the hardest are often the ones who've been hurt the most. They've learned the value of love because they've felt its absence. They've learned the importance of hope because they've walked through hopelessness. When you're in the middle of the pain, it's easy to believe that this is where it ends, that the brokenness is permanent, that you'll never feel whole again. But brokenness is not a dead end, it's a doorway. It's the beginning of something new. Just because it hurts right now doesn't mean it's harming you. Sometimes the pain is proof that something greater is being birthed. Think of a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. Every strike of the hammer looks like destruction to the outside observer, but the artist sees a masterpiece inside that stone. The chiseling isn't to damage it, it's to reveal it. And that's what pain does. It reveals the masterpiece hidden within you. It removes what doesn't belong. It shapes you into who you were always meant to be. Don't curse the pain. Don't resent the season. Don't waste your wounds. Let them teach you. Let them deepen you. Let them form you into someone who can handle the destiny you've been dreaming about. You want the blessing, but can you carry the burden? You want the influence, but can you handle the isolation that often comes before it? Pain is the preparation for the platform. It teaches you how to lead, how to love, how to live with integrity when no one's watching. You are not fragile. You are not finished. You are being formed, and formation takes friction. Think about how muscles grow, they tear before they strengthen. That process is painful, but it's necessary. Without the resistance, there's no power. Without the pain, there's no progress. Life is not trying to break you down, it's trying to build you up. And the tools life uses are often the very things we run from. What if the pain you're in right now isn't the enemy, it's the engine? What if it's the fuel that's going to drive you to become more focused, more faithful, more fearless? What if the setback you thought was the end is actually the setup for a comeback that will change everything? The pain didn't come to stay, it came to shape. And when you stop asking why me and start asking what's in this for me, everything begins to shift. There's something powerful about looking back on your life and realizing that your worst days didn't destroy you, they actually developed you. You may not have realized it at the time, but in the breaking, something beautiful was being built. You gained grit, you gained grace. You gained the kind of strength that can't be taught, only lived. And now, when people see you, they see the fruit, but they don't know the fight. They see the triumph, but they don't know the tears. They admire the strength, but they haven't seen the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the mornings you didn't want to get out of bed, the battles you fought in silence. That's why your story matters. That's why your scars matter. They speak of a journey that shaped you, not a journey that stopped you. Sometimes we want healing without hurting, growth without grinding, promotion without pressure. But that's not how destiny is designed. There's a purpose in the process. There's a method in the mess. There's greatness hidden in the grind. And until you embrace that reality, you'll keep mistaking the breaking for the end when really, it's just the beginning. You're not broken, you're being built. You're not being beaten, you're being born again into a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself. The storm didn't come to sink you. It came to show you that you had the strength to sail through it. The fire didn't come to burn you, it came to refine you. The rejection didn't come to define you, it came to redirect you towards something better. So stand tall in the storm, walk through the fire, face the fear, and know this: every time life tried to take you out, it only built you up. Every breaking point became a building block. Every loss created a lesson. Every wound birthed wisdom. And though the pain was real, so was the progress. You are still standing. You are still becoming. You are still rising. And the best part is the breaking was never the end. It was just the beginning of who you were always meant to be. 2. Your foundation is formed in the fire. There's a moment in every journey where comfort gives way to chaos, where stability is traded for struggle, and where everything you thought you understood begins to unravel. It is in this sacred space, the space of fire, that your true foundation is formed. Not the foundation you inherited, not the one others built for you, but the one that is forged through your own fire. It's easy to talk about faith, strength, and perseverance when everything is going your way. But when the floor falls out, when life flips upside down, and you're forced to walk through the heat with no map, that's when your real foundation starts taking shape. There is no substitute for the fire. It is the ultimate test. It doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't offer warnings, it simply arrives, uninvited, and announces itself with adversity. The fire doesn't come to comfort you, it comes to confront you. It comes to expose the weak points, to challenge the cracks, and to see if what you've built can actually stand. It's in the fire that your convictions are proven, not just proclaimed. It's in the fire that your identity is purified from the expectations of others. The version of you that was trying to please everybody, trying to blend in, trying to play it safe, that version can't survive the fire, because the fire will not let you pretend. Some people run from the fire. They avoid anything that looks like pressure. They hide from challenge. They numb themselves with distractions, trying to escape the pain. But what they fail to realize is this: whatever you avoid has power over you. But whatever you face, you have the power to overcome. The fire doesn't have to destroy you. If you face it with faith, it can actually develop you. It's not about getting out of the fire. It's about learning who you are while you're in it. You don't know how strong you are until you've walked through something that should have shattered you. You don't know how deep your foundation is until the storm tests your structure. Life will send the winds. Life will bring the fire. And while others are watching to see if you'll collapse, something inside you is quietly being reinforced. Every tear becomes mortar. Every loss becomes stone. Every rejection, every failure, every moment of confusion becomes part of the architecture of your soul. You are not being burned. You are being built. You may not have chosen the fire, but the fire is choosing something in you. It's choosing the real you, the one that's not swayed by opinion, not broken by betrayal, not crushed by comparison. The fire doesn't care about your resume. It doesn't care about your title. It doesn't care how many people follow you. The fire is looking for something real, and real can't be faked. Real has to be found. That's what the fire is for, to bring to the surface what's been buried underneath. Sometimes the very thing you thought was going to kill you ends up becoming the very thing that calls you to life. Because in the fire, all the excess burns away. The masks melt. The illusions vanish. You stop pretending and start pressing. You stop coasting and start climbing. You stop living for the applause and start living for the assignment. Pain has a way of making you focus. Fire has a way of making you fearless. There's no shortcut to a solid foundation. It must be forged, not fabricated. And forging takes time. It takes pressure. It takes heat. And in the process, you will be tempted to quit. You'll wonder why it's taking so long. You'll question why others seem to be advancing while you're still in the waiting room. But what you don't realize is that while they were building their image, you were building your infrastructure. And when the winds come, and they will, the structure without a foundation will fall. But you've been in the fire too long to fall now. You've cried too many tears. You've overcome too many battles. You've walked through too much to crumble now. Your roots run too deep. People will look at your life and admire the fruit, but few will understand the fire. They'll see the strength, but they won't see the suffering. They'll praise the outcome, but they won't know the cost. And that's okay, because you weren't built for public opinion, you were built for purpose. And purpose demands a process, a painful process, a purifying process. A process that doesn't make sense in the moment, but builds something unshakable in the end. You see, when your foundation is built in the fire, you become immovable. You're no longer tossed by the trends. You're no longer fragile in the face of rejection. You don't collapse when people criticize. Why? Because you've already faced the heat. You've already been tested. You've already walked through worse and survived. What once scared you now strengthens you. What once hurt you now humbles you. The very things that broke others are the things that built you. You learn in the fire that your feelings can't always be trusted. There will be moments when everything in you wants to run, to hide, to quit. But you've got to make a decision that your future is worth more than your fear, that your destiny is worth more than your discomfort, that your purpose is worth more than your pain. The fire will demand that you dig deep. It will call for something greater. But what you pull out of yourself in the fire will be the very thing that carries you through everything that comes after. Foundation isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not what people applaud. But it's what holds you up when everything else comes down. And if you don't build it now, life will make sure you wish you had later. Because every success carries weight. Every dream fulfilled comes with responsibility. And if your inner life isn't built to support the weight of your external life, you'll collapse under the very thing you prayed for. The fire ensures that doesn't happen. It strengthens your core. It builds your bones. It makes sure that when the moment comes, you're not just ready, you're rooted. The most dangerous place to be is successful but ungrounded, popular but unstable, visible but unvetted. The fire eliminates that danger. It proves you. It protects you from shortcuts that sabotage. It trains your character to match your calling. It won't let you skip steps. It won't let you take the easy way, because the fire knows what's built too quickly crumbles too easily. But what's built in the fire stands. There will come a day when you look back and thank the fire, not because it was pleasant, but because it was purposeful. It showed you what you could survive, It revealed what was truly valuable. It helped you discover the parts of yourself that ease would have kept hidden. The passion, the perseverance, the grit, the grace, the quiet strength to show up day after day, even when you don't see results. That's not something you learn in theory. That's something you earn in the fire. And maybe, just maybe, the fire wasn't just about you. Maybe it was also for those who will come after you, the ones who will see your life and realize they can rise too. The ones who will hear your story and find strength in your scars. The ones who are standing in their own fire right now, waiting to see if anyone has made it through. Your survival becomes someone else's strategy. Your endurance becomes someone else's evidence that they too can make it. You become the proof. There's no way around it. If you want to build something that lasts, you've got to go through the fire. Not once, but over and over. Because each level of life demands a deeper foundation. Each new season asks for a stronger core. And every time the fire comes, it's giving you the chance to go deeper, to get stronger, to grow wiser. You are not regressing. You are being reinforced. Don't despise the days of fire. Don't rush the season of heat. Let it do its work. Let it build you from the inside out. Let it strip away what doesn't serve you. Let it clarify what truly matters. Let it forge in you a foundation that no man can shake, no storm can destroy, no critic can collapse. You were made for this, not for ease, not for applause, but for endurance, for strength, for significance. Everything you're building in the fire is preparing you for what's coming next. You may not see it yet. You may still be surrounded by smoke. But trust, the foundation is forming. The structure is strengthening. And when the time comes for you to rise, you won't just stand, you'll stand strong. You won't just shine, you'll shine with substance. Because you didn't skip the fire. You didn't run from it. You walked through it. You let it shape you. And now, you're not just standing on a foundation. You are the foundation. Solid, unshakable, proven. 3. Don't just go through it, grow through it. There comes a point when life demands more of you than you think you have. When what's around you doesn't look like what was promised to you. When you find yourself face to face with pressure, pain, and problems so intense, they make you question your very purpose. But here's the key. Life doesn't just want you to go through it, it wants you to grow through it. There's a difference between surviving something and transforming because of it. And until you understand that difference, you'll continue to go through cycles of pain without ever stepping into the power it was meant to produce in you. Going through it is passive. It means letting life happen to you. It means getting hit, sitting down, and waiting for the season to pass. Growing through it is active. It means learning from the hits. It means standing back up, even when your knees are trembling, and asking, what is this trying to teach me? Every setback carries a seed of strength. Every problem contains a path to power. But if you're too focused on escaping the pressure, you'll miss the purpose. You weren't meant to just endure, you were meant to evolve. People often want the reward without the requirement. They want the crown but not the crushing. But you can't have the oil without the pressing. You can't have wisdom without wounds. You can't walk in strength you didn't earn in the struggle. The greatest growth in your life won't come from the places where you were most comfortable, it'll come from the places where you were most crushed. Because pain isn't the end of the story, it's the classroom. And in that classroom, life teaches lessons that books never could. You learn discipline in the drought. You learn faith in the fire. You learn resilience in the rejection. And if you dare to grow through it, instead of just getting through it, you'll come out not just older, but better. Not just more experienced, but more equipped. Pain will either make you bitter or it will make you bolder. It's your decision. Growth hurts. Not because it's cruel, but because it's cutting away the parts of you that can't go where you're headed. Growth asks you to shed the opinions of others. Growth asks you to leave behind insecurity and indecision. Growth demands that you step away from what was and embrace what could be. But most of all, growth demands honesty with yourself. You can't grow pretending to be someone you're not. You can't grow hiding behind pride. You have to be willing to face the broken places and say, this might have hurt me, but it will not define me. If your roots aren't deep, the fruit won't last. And deep roots are formed underground, in silence, in darkness, in seasons of stretching. When nothing seems to be happening, everything is actually happening. Growth isn't always visible, but it's always valuable. You've got to keep pushing, keep pressing, keep planting even when you don't see progress. Because what's happening in you is more important than what's happening around you. You can't control the weather, but you can control whether or not you keep growing. The hardest part of any storm isn't the wind, it's the waiting. Waiting to feel normal again. Waiting to see if the pain was worth it. Waiting to find purpose in the suffering. But growth is happening even in the waiting. Even when you feel stuck. Even when you feel like nothing is changing, something deep within you is expanding, your patience, your wisdom, your capacity. And soon, what's been growing underground will break through the surface, and people will call it a miracle, but you'll know it was growth. Too often, people confuse comfort with peace, but they're not the same. Comfort is external, peace is internal, and growth will often require you to trade one for the other. Growth will call you out of your comfort zone and into your calling, and calling will require confrontation. You will have to confront your doubts, your fears, your patterns, your past. But that confrontation is where change happens. You won't change what you won't challenge, and you can't challenge what you refuse to confront. Growth doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. You have to choose to see pain differently, to not waste it, to not run from it, to not let it be something that happens to you, but something that works for you. You have to choose to let the pain plant something inside of you, something that will one day bear fruit, not just for you, but for the people connected to your life. Because your growth is not just about you. Someone is waiting on the other side of your breakthrough. Someone is watching how you handle your fire. Someone is inspired by your fight. Don't underestimate the power of your process. Growth doesn't always shout it off in whispers. It doesn't always explode, it expands slowly. And if you're not paying attention, you'll think you're stuck when really you're just in a season of sacred shaping. You're not behind, you're not failing, you're forming, becoming, rising, growing. And soon the growth that's happening in secret will be undeniable in public. There are things you'll only learn in pain. There are depths of wisdom that can't be taught in prosperity. There is a level of character that only develops in challenge. And growth is about welcoming all of it. Not enjoying it, but enduring it with purpose. Choosing to believe that every scar will one day serve as a testimony, that every sleepless night will turn into strategy, that every heartbreak will become a breakthrough. Sometimes growth feels like loss, because to grow you often have to let go. Let go of the version of you that was tied to approval. Let go of habits that once protected you but now limit you. Let go of mindsets that no longer serve your destiny. Letting go is hard, but staying stuck is harder. And if you keep holding on to what was, you'll miss what could be. You have to ask yourself, am I more committed to comfort or to becoming? Because one will keep you safe and the other will make you strong. One will give you rest, but the other will give you results. You've got to choose growth every day, in every decision. Choose to forgive, choose to stay faithful, choose to rise when it's easier to retreat, choose to speak life when all you feel is fear. That's how you grow through it, one choice at a time. And let's be clear, growing through it doesn't mean you always feel strong. Sometimes growth looks like crying and still showing up. It looks like feeling fear but not folding. It looks like making progress nobody else sees and choosing not to quit even when quitting would be easier. Growth is not loud, it's consistent. It doesn't always look impressive, but it's always impactful. Growth through pain is not about denying your emotions, it's about directing them. Feel it all, but don't become it all. Let the pain visit, but don't give it a permanent address. Let it teach you, but don't let it trap you. You are not what happened to you, you are what you choose to build with what happened. And if you're still breathing, then the story isn't over. You've still got time to grow, time to rise, time to become. You've survived so much already. You've already overcome things you thought would break you. That means growth is already inside you. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from strength. From scars that speak of victory, from battles that taught you who you are. You've come too far to go back now. The pain wasn't pointless. The storm wasn't senseless. The fire wasn't final. All of it was pushing you, pressing you, preparing you. So now the question isn't, will you get through it? You will. You're stronger than you think. The real question is, will you grow through it? Will you come out with more wisdom, more grace, more gratitude? Will you let the pain plant something in you that turns into power? Will you take what tried to take you out and turn it into the fuel that pushes you forward? It's your decision. Your pain can be your prison or your platform. It can chain you or it can challenge you to rise. But if you grow through it, if you choose progress over pity, faith over fear, growth over grief, you will walk out of this stronger, wiser, better. You'll walk out with a testimony no one can take from you. And the very thing that tried to break you will become the very thing that builds you into everything you were born to be.